suffering and to dispel the darkness of confusion. In the Bodhisattva form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 level and perfect in the body of all knowledge. Supplicate you, Majeshri, adorned by the 100th son of Buddha, to dispel the darkness of my ignorance. Om Arabazanade, 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 Om Wangeshwaramo, Om Wangeshwaramo, Om Wangeshwaramo, Om Wangeshwaramo. Om Wange Shoramo, 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 Wange Shoramo. Oh, Wange Shoramo, 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 Wange Shoramo. Om Wange Shoramo, Wange Shoramo, Wange Shoramo, Wange Shoramo, Wange Shoramo, Wange Shoramo, Wange Shoramo. Om Wange Shoramo, Wange Shoramo. You who are the perfect, beautiful body, those flame of wisdom blessed, and dispel the darkness of all delay ignorance, are posted before you and pressed to Manjushri. Tangre doje yaje reisen rong yinje medo deje bonjong bazerje lembo davre jive yaje yarbe yala guzanze dojen janjen de lo narodang ma ba me lai chi je gambo bai ba mo zhe bai jarwa in ji gong bei Kajo lama nam la zorwa inde ro ming ji je yin je bo dang ne te song san je gen je ngo wo nye rang sem chi ge ngo song dong ze be sa ve la me ya la zorwa inde. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
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 Now we're going to continue way of Bodhisattva. So this way of Bodhisattva has a chapter 10. We are in the chapter 9. So chapter 9 is a wisdom chapter. Then here main point is actually this whole way of Bodhisattva. Other all chapter is purpose of realize the wisdom. So that's the reason other all chapter is we call the cause. So this wisdom chapter is a result. And then talk about usually two truths. So other all chapter is relative truth, and this is absolute truth. So when we talk about the relative truth, it's easy for us because we knows, that we perceive this all relative truth. So then go into the absolute truth is hard. The reason is absolute truth, the beyond us. So that's why whatever we conceptual thoughts bring is like always like dualistic way. Hard to understand the non-dualistic conceptual. So if you study this way of Bodhisattva, then even we don't have realized, but intellectually we understanding absolute truth. So that takes time. And we studied this wisdom chapter. The result is not dropped, 100% not dropped. Certainty. You have to understanding emptiness, like no certain. You have to get your experience, like intellectually experience certainty. Is all this phenomena is emptiness. But through the emptiness, so you see this all the relative truth arise. This from the emptiness arise all this relative truth is the same as a dream and the same as delusion. So then that helps you. You are no longer fixation to all these worldly things, not attached to worldly things, free from attachment, free from anger, then free from samsara. So the wisdom teaching, meditation cut the root, and we are reborn samsara. The causes is self-grasping. So meditated love is not directly introduced to self-grasping. Meditated compassion is not directly to the introduced to self-grasping. So their love, compassion, other these meditations reduce the self-grasping. Long as you reduce the self-grasping, then your mind will become more happy and joy. But still root always there. So one day also you get conditions can be arise again these emotions. So you study where this wisdom chapter, cultivate, meditate, and then that's practice meditations directly introduced to the self-grasping. So emptiness meditation take root of the self-grasping, and then you realize, so then no more we have to reborn to samsara because of no cause to reborn in samsara. No self. Long as no self, no emotions. Then no emotions, no create karma. So that's why this is the most powerful antidote to our self-grasping, but hardest practice, this emptiness. Because due to our, mind is so long used to, so strong habituate, all this everything exists for us. So whatever we explain, sometimes emptiness, you say, oh yeah, looks like emptiness, but anyway, minds go back to again reality. It's pick up again, this whole world is like exist and permanent, and then we are attached to that, fixation to that object. We are always stuck that. The reason is when we're listening, this
What happened?
Oh, Z, can you
Oh,
mute it, please?
can you mute, please?
That, yeah. So otherwise my voice come back twice. Hearing my voice is not pleasant. I hear other voices more pleasant. Okay, so no. So
Sorry.
that's why. So we have to meditate. This is like you have to habituate, used to. Otherwise, even you intellectual understand not much, really transform that much because of so strong fixation. And you heard this like all way of Bodhisattva, especially this wisdom chapter. You recognize it's like everything is a delusion, everything is emptiness, but not really anything is like inherently exist there, but still your mind is a fixation to the object. So that's the problem, is because our mind is so strong already habituated to samsaric things. Then of course this I told you this all is a absolute truth chapter and harder to understand. if you something easy to understand, like, or it's your perception, your eye see the truth, your ear hear the truth, your nose smell the truth, your tongue can taste the truth, then Buddha don't have to teach us. This all five senses is seeing the correct everything. So the problem is these five senses object is not truth, not rare, but we are deluded. That's the reason Buddha sharing this absolute truth teaching. So if someone got deep sleep and nightmares, someone has a compassion, the person recognizes the person is a deep dreams, bad dreaming, suffering. So someone who was waking up, they wanted to wake up there, because wanted to help them to free from that nightmare suffering. Same like that. So Buddha is already waking up. So he recognized our sentient beings, delusion, nightmare, suffering. So the nightmare, dream, bad dream, the suffering is the person who has that dream, nightmare, that is true for that person. So someone in the dream telling that you is like, oh, this is your nightmare, you can wake up. They don't accept. They say, no, this is the truth because I can talk with you. And I can see all this object. I have this suffering. This is the truth. What are you talking about? This is rare. So they don't accept for you. But who's wake up, they see that person is delusion in the nightmare dream. That is no rare, no truth. But all the condition comes, the person has a nightmare, that dream, suffering. But that is reality not true. Actually, all is a delusion. The problem is the person he didn't understand is delusion. So the person he didn't know, so he can wake up again, another state. So then Buddha has with compassion, wisdom, he recognized all these beings nightmare deluded. So he teaching for us, you are nightmare delusion right now. So you can wake up. Right now, what you five senses object are not real, not truth. So he like that, he telling us, teaching for us, sharing. So in this wisdom chapter, of course, like beyond our five senses, that's why it's harder to understand. But Nagarjuna said, even you have dropped about emptiness, you already end of samsara, another lifetimes. So this samsara beings, why cannot end? Because they never ever believe emptiness, even they don't have opportunity to hear, even they don't have opportunity to doubt about emptiness. So that's why fixation is so strong, and everything's true, rare, so strong fixation, desired. So that's why not possible to end the life. And Nagarjuna say, who heard the emptiness teaching, the person even no practice in this life, even they're not really 100% adopt, picking up the emptiness, still have dropped. That kind of person is also have opportunity to liberate future lives. So there, samsaric beings like same is in the cage, strong like cage is the cannot break out. So we are stuck in that kind of. If talk about emptiness, who has dropped the cage, get the you can breathe air from the box. So then some reason you have opportunity, you get out from the box like that. And that's why Nagarjuna says someone has who dropped about emptiness, that person can liberate future lifetimes. So this is the actually essence of the Buddha's teaching. Emptiness section is. So without this wisdom, other practice cannot take to the enlightenment. So that's why here also all this other, like say we talk about another 8 chapter already, 6 paramita, 7 actually 5, generosity, morality, patience, joyful effort, meditation. So this other 5 is taking into the enlightening path. So wisdom taking other 5 is taking into the enlightening path. Other 5 is the same as blind people, and wisdom is the same as eye. So eye taking right directions. Other this 5 of this without wisdom only create accumulation merit that helps you reborn very good life and higher realms. So you have good opportunity in the samsara, but cannot take to the liberate in nirvana, not possible to enlightenment. So then that's why it's this emptiness meditation wisdom is have to, when we practice, have to go with the generosity, go with the patience, go with the morality, go with the joyful effort. All this, whatever we practice dharma, if you use this wisdom together, and then all this practice dharma is causes of Buddhahood, causes of enlightenment, not causes of samsaric happiness and joy. So then, now we are study this talk about emptiness. It's hard because you have to use logic and investigate. So also here, who accept this exist or this phenomena exist like permanent mind, that is actually us. So we have these problems, then Shantideva actually debating with us, think about. So when you meditate, practice, you have to think about this debating Shantideva teaching us with us, like we have this dropped. That's why we cannot accept easily what Shantideva he says. You can easily follow the, of course, worldly people in the first one debate, the Shantideva debate. The part is more easy, like the person is like same as us thinking. Then second is like Vibhashika Sattandrika is a little bit go more deeper, but still there easy than Mayaminka. So they also accept this, everything is still source permanent something. So we can easily accept that. It's nothing source, no anything inherently exists, the permanent, nothing permanent, everything emptiness means then we lose everything, nothing is there. So then what are we going to do? Like kind of you get that feeling. So that means like still you didn't understand the emptiness. What means emptiness? Emptiness means like first no exists, then what you're going to lose? First we talk about the no born, then no die. If you don't have a birth, then why is like death there? Why you scared of death? Why you fear for death if you don't have a birth? So first these things no exist, everything inherently no exist. Then we don't have to worry about emptiness. Why it's become always empty? Empty also no exist. So no birth, no death. Then that means like free from all the conceptual thoughts. That is the, see, then we talk about the non-dualistic, non-conceptual, absolute truth. It's like that. Not empty, not exist, not between any other than in between there, nothing. So free from all the extremes. Mayaminka teaching is free from all the extremes. Okay, so now we go to the debate with the Chitta Matera again. So yesterday I shared with you, Chittamatera have two philosophers, two different kind of philosophers, Chittamatera. And the first one, the mind is permanent, object is far, means like not really true. The object is delusion. So then Maya Minka, if object is empty, far, no delusion, your mind permanent, then mind cannot perceive the perceptions object, because this other is far, no exist. It's means like delusion. Mind is permanent. The permanent cannot receive like or perceive this appearances. Appearances become delusion. How can mind receive that? So that's we did yesterday dialogue with the first one. Then second one say no, the object also mind, not only just delusion. It's this object is appearances come from mind. Mind is a state that accept permanent. The problem is mind is there accept permanent. If they don't accept mind is permanent, then they are okay. So Maya Minka can some Maya Minka follow based on this Chittamaterian view, relative truth. So yesterday, can you hear? Okay, looks like this. The video is like some stuck. Okay.
The sound is very clear, very clear.
Okay. So then, say the Chittamaterian who talk about this appearance is mind. So that is good in the relative truth, but not great in the absolute truth. The reason is that they accept a permanent mind. The permanent mind cannot projecting appearance. So permanent is actually useless. Main point is useless. You cannot projecting all this appearance. Source is a permanent mind. So that's why this is debating. So now we are verses today. Okay, verses I think 24. Verses 24. If someone with the necessary casual condition, such as concentration, can see the consciousness of others from afar, therefore it must be possible to clearly behold one's own consciousness, which is so near. So now the debating is like yesterday we're talking about, the Chittamaterian, you talk about you like this completely eliminate itself. So same like that, the mind also does the mind know itself. Mind knows itself. So the mind knows itself is like Chittamaterian. Even this all appearance is mind. So they accept all the appearance is mind. They mind actually the subject is permanent. Object also mind too. Object also mind. But subject mind is there's a permanent, right? So subject mind is permanent. Subject mind is permanent, and that permanent mind is the mind knows itself. So that knows object, that knows itself. That's the debating, then Maya Minka said that not possible. So already we giving the couple different answers up there. So now today Chittamaterian also bring another way debating. See, the Chittamaterian says if someone with the necessary casual conditions such as concentration can see the consciousness of others from afar. So someone use the special kind of like you know, something like condition. We say like the create the, you know, mantra create something, create a lakshun, body lakshun, like kind of like, you know, eye lakshun, something put in the eye that, and then the can see very far away, and they also can see the under the earth too. So that is the power of the, you know, this condition, casual conditions. The casual condition is they put something in the eye. So power of that, you can see very far away and under the ground also something. They can see the things. So that is a magic power, yeah. Then the Chitta Matter main point, they see you can see all the way very far, like something like treasure object, secret also you can see, you use that. Conscious concentration, then the person's concentration can see the consciousness of others from afar. So then the person also see the other's mind too. Someone who meditate, control the mind, and they can see the other's mind too. They can see the other object, far away object too. Therefore, it must be possible to clearly behold as one's own consciousness, which is so near. Then why cannot see their own mind? The persons can see others' mind, persons can see special object very far away, and even in the under the ground, use some special method. They can see that. Then why they cannot see their own mind? So that's the same. Like we also have that dropped too. Relatively, meditators, practitioners, we say, oh, they recognize other people's mind because due to the power of concentration, meditation, and also the use some, you know, power of a mantra, magicker, and they can see some different kind of object. You know, usually we don't see uh, the this eye just directly can see. Use something special object, you can see the object. Like same is like right now technology using many things like eye board this you know, like eye cannot see, eyeball cannot see, but the use some technique, you know, technology can see the object. So I can see like that. Why cannot see? Mind can see. That is talking about mind. Mind can see like that. Why cannot see the ourself? So then my Yaminka said, this is not necessary so. So that's also not necessary always not like that. Because although from application of in eye lakshan, concerted by power of attainment, treasure wells can be seen far beneath the earth. So this is a kind of a power use, and they can see some treasure wells in the under the earth. So same like this, right now this technology using they can see the treasure things in the under the ground. So like that, they can seeing that beneath the earth, the eye lakshan itself, which is much closer, cannot be seen. See, eye lakshan is very close to eye. They cannot see the eye lakshan. Eye lakshan is like made by the some powerful who can meditate, who can use the mantra create something power. So that lakshan is put eye somewhere close to eye, but you cannot see that. You can see other object. So this example is like the main point is that you can see very far away some object. Why cannot see ourselves? Too close one, why cannot see? So my Yaminka main point is like even close, you cannot see because the eye like you put in the eye, you cannot see. You cannot see your face yourself, right? It's too close for you too. Same like that, you cannot see your mind own. So the main point is that the example is incorrect. Not always like that. But your mind can see your mind. That means like long as you accept mind is emptiness, then you can see your mind. But long as you accept the mind is permanent, you cannot see your mind your own. The seeing means also not seeing anything. That is your seeing. Not seeing like something permanent object. Mind seeing mind means not actually your mind is emptiness, not exist. So your seeing is also empty, not exist, free from all fabrication and dualistic thoughts. So that is you seeing. Not seeing something again exist things there. Okay, so now we go to the next one, Chitta Material. So they're still not giving up, they're debating again. If self-cognition were non-existing, other cognition would also be non-existing. Therefore, there would be no such things as seeing, hearing, and so forth. So that is the thing we have that dropped too. Or is if mind is not exist, then we cannot hear, we cannot see, then we cannot talk, we cannot do anything. Then what are we going to do? So becomes nothing is existed. So Chitta Material exactly have our thoughts, same thing. Chitta Material is behalf of us to debating with Maya Minka. We have this dropped in the thoughts. See, we think mind is not exist. Then, therefore, would know such things as seeing, hearing, and so forth. Then become this world is like all is gone, like nothing there. So that's a Chitta Material asked question to the Maya Minka. Then Maya Minka said, the mere appearances of seeing, hearing, and perceiving are not being negated here. So Maya Minka not debating with like you cannot see forms, like you cannot hear the old songs, you cannot talking with other people, you cannot do all these worldly things. They're not talking about it like that. He said, not. I'm not debating with that. It is the conception of them as truly existing that is to be reversed, since this is the cause for suffering. So Maya Minka said, I'm debating with what we seeing, hearing these sentient beings receive the permanent, then their fixation to the object, attached to the object. That's why I'm telling you these things not exist. Or impermanent, everything's interdependent, everything's emptiness. So I'm telling you reality, the Maya Minka telling him, I'm telling you reality. I'm not talking about all this relative truth is not exist. Relative truth, whatever you have, you can have that. I'm not debating with that. But I'm telling you this relative truth is not permanent, not inherently exist. So means like be careful, don't attach to this, don't fixation to that. If you are fixation to that, attached to these relative things, but then this all create causes of suffering for you because these relative things actually not exist. So that's the Maya Minka giving answer. Then Chitta Material also, again, there the Chitta Material, the mind, is talking about self-cognition is permanent exist. Self-cognition mind is permanent exist. Then the object appearance is empty, it's delusion. So delusion. So no self, cognition, the mind and delusion object are same or different. Investigating. If the same also problem, is the different also problem. So cannot be same, cannot be different. So then they cannot approving this self-cognition, mind is permanent, and object is delusion. Chitta Madre cannot approve that logically. They don't have a logic to approving that. Mayamika, she telling them they are same or different. So they're going to ask question again. So now here, this illusion, like object are not external object other than the mind. So this object external is mind, same is mind, or yet or not other, means like it's mind, no other object, right? They cannot be considered as being the mind itself. So that cannot be, you know, so consider be the self. So where I lost it somewhere. My eyes goes. Okay, so now see, Chitta Martyr just talking about this, you know, self-cognition is permanent. So then this object, you know, illusion object are not external object, but there is other than mind. Yet although not other, they cannot be considered as being the mind itself. Thus, they are phenomena which are describably other than the mind. So this is all like ask question to Chitta Martyr, like, you know, your mind is the self-cognition is the same as this delusion object or different or something other than that, what it is. So Chitta Martyr cannot say this delusion is the same as the self-cognition. The reason is because self-cognition, they accept permanent. The delusion appearance, the subject is they don't accept permanent. So if they are one, same, then this self-cognition also cannot be permanent because the same is the object. If they are separate, then your self-cognition cannot perceive the object. If separate, different, then cannot receive it because mind is a permanent, object is you know, is a delusion. So your self-cognition, permanent mind cannot receive the object. Mayamika, if the same thing is a thing, how can it be neither the mind nor other than it? It has to be one or or the other. See, but if you say that it is neither one nor the other, then it would not be a thing because such a thing could not possibly exist. So this object is not self-cognition, is different, then object is not exist. It's empty, nothing. If the same, then your mind, this self-consciousness also becomes same as object, impermanent, emptiness, delusion, nothing. So anyway, Chitta Martyr has difficulty, you know, they cannot accept either way. Whatever they says is like become, they lose their you know, whatever they you know, wanted to approving something, Chitta Martyr, they cannot approving. Anyway, they're lost. They cannot accept either way. So we have an example, like if you hold, get burn your hand. If you lose, it's broken, cup going to broken, falling broken. So like that, Chitta Martyr, they don't want to lose the debate. They no any proving. Yeah, no approving. So then they're lost. They have to accept that. Otherwise, no choice there. So no, Chitta Martyr again. Cyclic existence. The state is in which subject and object appear as two subcontinentally distinct things. Has as the basis of it deceptive appearance something rare, namely a truly existing known or consciousness. Otherwise, if it did not have something rare as its basis, it would be just like space and would not be a state which could appear as rare subject and object. So Cheta Madhurem, again, debating with Mayamika. So see, if this thing is not permanent, then the problem is Cheta Madhurem think this one. Cyclic existence is a samsara, state in which subject and object appear as two substantially distinct things. So we appear to these samsaric things. Has as this must have to have something, come from source based on something. Has as the best of its deceptive appearance something rare. So something must have a rare source. Otherwise, the same is a space, nothing, anything source permanently. So namely a truly existing, something need truly existing based on this samsaric things. So that is non-dual consciousness. Non-dual consciousness, self-consciousness is permanent. So self-consciousness is permanent, then self-consciousness projecting all this samsara. So samsara must have to have something, permanent source based on something permanent source. So that must be mine. Mine is must be permanent. So that's the Chitta Madhurem view. Otherwise, see, if you don't have this kind of permanent mind source, if it did not have something rare as its basis, then we don't have any like source permanent. It would be just like space, becomes the same as empty. Like you cannot see all this samsara space, and would not be a state which could appear as rare subject and object. So samsara is appear to us like rare to for us. The reason is because of something permanent object, mean permanent source. So that is a self-consciousness. That's the Chitta Mata review. Then Mayaminka, that is not cannot be truth, because how can something exist is rely on exist things. So that's so Mayamika giving answer here. If the dualistic state of a cyclic existing depend upon something rare, see this samsaric or this dualistic thing is based on something rare, how could it have the function of appearing as a rare subject? How can you have like rare subject can appear to this samsara and object, subject and object? How can the projecting, the same is like just go back to again like we already talked. Mind is a permanent, self-consciousness is permanent. The cannot projecting this samsara, because permanent already useless, like means like not changing, and that's why cannot projecting. If the Chitta Madhurya accept mind is emptiness, then it's okay. Mind can project all this samsara, this relative truth. But the problem, the Chitta Madhurya not accept that. Mind is the accept permanent. That's why this cannot projecting all this samsara relative truth. It would follow that it could not, because rare, truly existing thing do not exist. Thus, in your tradition, whatever is mind would become a solitary, no-door consciousness, unstated by any object. So the main point is, Mayaminka told Chitta Matara, your mind is useless. Your mind is never ever follow with object, because your mind is permanent. So your self-consciousness is permanent, is no cannot projecting the sub object. Then self-consciousness itself permanent is useless, is only there. So you have a self-consciousness permanent. Actually, you don't have this samsara. So now it's like debating, the or whatever Chitta Matera saying, Maya Minka is wrong. So logically, actually, this Chitta Matera has that problem. Come to that get problem. Chitta Matera say, if you don't have a consciousness, self-consciousness permanent, there's samsara and relative truth is not possible to we have this. Then Maya Minka say, if you have your mind, self-consciousness permanent, then not possible this samsara. This self-consciousness must be emptiness. So that's the debating. So no, Chitta Matera, you don't have this then object, subject, object, you have a subject only consciousness. Actually, no subject object both. Subject object means like your mind, like, seeing the example like statue. So I seeing the statue. This is an object. My mind, like that consciousness is a subject, is receiving the statue. And that is called subject. Object is a statue, but no object statue. Then that kind of receiving statue, that mind also no exist. Because you don't have a subject, then you can have. You don't have an object, then you don't have a subject. So no, Maya Minka told him, and you don't have anywhere subject and object because your consciousness only itself is useless. There, nothing use. So if it were true, so then you accept that in this way, the mind existing separately from its object. See, your mind is separately become object. Then all sentient beings would become Tathagata. So sentient beings must be all become Buddha because we don't have delusions again. So this is like Chitta Matera. It's harder to understand anyway. And this, if we have to comment to it, and then you really understanding what I talking about. Otherwise, harder to understand. And my English also cannot explain this. Like I don't have words enough to explain in this logic how to like become Chitta Matera. Have these problems. The main point, the Chitta Matera, no subject, no object. So then Maya Minka say you don't have a subject object, then your only mind self is there. So that means like then everyone is Buddha for you, right? Because you don't have a subject, you don't have an object, it's only self-consciousness there. So same is become everyone is become Buddha. So then why you work so hard? Why you try to approve when your view, your view also there. Your whatever you're doing is not exactly there. So the kind of thing is like last time they say like Maya Minka talk about emptiness, then they say, oh, if it's emptiness, then we don't have to create accumulation merit because all is emptiness. Same like that kind of, this Chitta Matera, whatever that says, like no become no subject, no object. Then Maya Minka say, oh no, everyone, all sentient beings, no object, no subject, become only self-consciousness. Like all is become same as Buddha, right, for you? So then your all hard work, debating, your sharing your view is useless. So that's the Maya Minka giving the answer. So now we're going to the little bit different subject, establishing us the path. So this is a path, the knowledge that's deceptive true are like illusions. Deceptive truth is like same as illusion. So now, even if one knows that all phenomena are like in illusion, how will disturbing conception be turned away? For instance, a magician who creates in illusion women can still have desire for her. So the question is, if you know all this object is delusion and permanent emptiness, but still your fixation emotion is cannot go away, it's there. So then what is the purpose for understanding emptiness? Even you know emptiness, but your fixation, emotion, desire, attachment is still there. So then what are you going to do? So that is the question. Same is to see like magic can power, like someone who use the, who can create illusion. See, instance of magic who can create illusion, she woman can still have a desire for her. So the person that knows that is a delusion, but still the person is attached to that object. Same is like movie, movie we know is not really rare, it's a delusion. But when we watch the movie, everyone has feelings, so strong feeling, right? Some people cry, there's some people are very scared they cannot watch the movie finish. So actually the nose where movie is not exist, but then like that, even this or some sort of things not exist, it's impermanent emptiness, but still you are attached to fixation to anyway object. So then what purpose are you going to your wanting, like actually they're telling Mayamika, you want to introduce emptiness, impermanent, but that doesn't help me because still my emotions are there, my fixation is there. And then what are we going to do? So no answer. Mayamika give answer. The creator of this illusion has not abandoned the tendency of the disturbing conception of desire towards knowable entity such as a woman. So who person who magically created the illusory women, and that person has desire for her. The reason is that person didn't have, the Mayamika said, didn't have practice meditate and emptiness, So see, the creator of his illusion has not abandoned the tendency of the disturbing conception. That so that person has a still, even the creator, that person has a kind of it's a tendency of disturbing conception, the emotion. The person has emotion, disturbing conception, emotion of desire towards. So that's why no able entities such as women. Therefore, when he sees the illusory women, the tendency to see her emptiness is very weak. So that person's mentally actually realize emptiness habituation. The tendency is really weak. That's why the person still, desire to the delusion object. So the main point is like we have a strong fixation on our mind, and we have so strong tendency, so this dualistic thoughts. And that's why even we see the object is like not really rare, but still attached to the object. So now the main point is Shantideva said, you meditate, and when you meditate, your tendency like habituate is like reduce. Your emptiness meditation has become strong and strong. Then you less attach, less fixation to the object. But this person, he didn't have that emptiness, practice meditation, anything. So that's why he see the illusion object, but still the person is attached to the object. That's the reason attached to the object. So no main point is like think about ourselves. How you have a strong, like, habituate in your mind emptiness meditation. Very vague, right? Our mind is very vague about habituate emptiness meditation. The practice is very vague, not strong. That's why we even we hear this emptiness, you know, you study, but still you attach to the object, fixation to object. So that means like your practicing meditation is not strong enough, very weak. Illusion may see here emptiness is very weak. Although the illusion may be understood to be empty of being a rare women through not understanding phenomena to be empty of true existing, that tendency of desire are aroused. So we didn't have the habituate emptiness meditation. So that meditation habitual emptiness is very weak, not enough strong. So that's why it's like our desires and the fixations become strong, and then that's that's the reason like we are don't recognize that even we understand like intellectually, but still fixation to the object. So then we go to the next one, verses 32. So that is the yesterday, I think, who has a question. So like I told you, this answer is coming tomorrow. So I think it's EDG. So this is the answer here. But through developing the tendency to know all phenomena as empty, so we meditate, habituate. So we realize all this phenomena is emptiness. Empty, the tendency of apprehending things as true existing will be abandoned. So then you realize emptiness that comes your own mind strongly arise. You know, you have a strong habituate. So through familiarizing, see oneself, so then you have that meditation strong. So you slowly recognize that the tendency of apprehending things are truly existing will be abandoned. We really understanding all this phenomena is emptiness. Okay, so this all phenomena is no exist permanently inherently. We understand that. That comes from your your habituate meditating, and then also you not only you know all this exist. This all the object is no exist. I mean, this all the phenomena is no exist. You recognize not only that, you also knows emptiness also no exist too. And through familiarizing oneself with the fact that no phenomena, emptiness as well as deceptive truth are established as truly existing. See, when we meditate, of course, this all phenomena exist things emptiness. You habituate, meditate, you realize all this phenomena is emptiness. But it's no, you're not going to start empty nothingness because these things, you know. And through the familiarizing oneself with the fact that no phenomena, emptiness as well as deceptive true are established. So this existent things also no exist as truly existing. In the future, the apprehension of emptiness as well as false phenomena to be truly existing will be abandoned. So empty also no exist too. We don't have things exist first. So then how can be, you know, the things emptiness there? No birth cannot have a death. So I'm beginningless time, this all this phenomena is emptiness. Not something existed, you realize become these things like you destroy, like, you know, become subsumed into or put into the emptiness. So there, then that section has like that goes to different level. Maya Minka also too. See, this Maya Minka today right now we're sharing. It's a Pasanjeka, I think, or Pasanjeka, something like this. The Maya Minka, Uma Tanjurpa. It's a Tanjurpa, meaning is this relative things. When you realize emptiness, then first relative things exist. Then you realize emptiness. Then relative true is gone. So not like that. This relative things is like unbeginningless time until no, this all phenomena is not exist. Even you realize or don't realize, it's actually not exist. If something exists, you realize, then become not exist, then you have emptiness. Because you have a birth first, then you have death. So this phenomena is unbeginningless time is not exist. That's why, like when you realize, you just realize the nature of phenomena. You didn't get something new, something. No exist things. Your realization no go where the exist things. You didn't. Your realization didn't destroy all this exist phenomena things. This phenomena things unbeginningless time is not exist. That's why it's then also empty also not exist too. So that is the Uma Tanjurpa is like Pasanjika, I think is the highest level Maya Minka. And if you understand that way, then actually relative truth also like just they follow by the this worldly people perception, but then actually this realizes their own perception relative things also not exist for them too. They don't have two truth, the main point. It's only one truth. So who has two truth, then see, that is called Uma Ranjupa. Uma Ranjupa is another Mayamika, like not the highest one. There has relative truth. Then they use the relative truth and go up to the absolute truth. There's a relative truth has exist, absolute truth no exist, and that actually not really 100% correct. But these teachers, no choice. If you don't follow like that way, they cannot introduce emptiness to all these worldly people. That's why they create two steps there. And here, the main point, this one, you absolutely actually, they don't have two truth, only one truth. Actually, one also cannot really exist anything there, because so if you don't have the truth, then how can be one is exist permanently there? So you don't have a right, then you cannot have a left is exist permanently there too. You don't have a relative truth, also the absolute truth also no exist too, no exist. So the meditation, this main point is first, the when you meditate, all this your habitual tendency is become less to this or the phenomena object, less tendency, and less fixations. You realize all this phenomena is emptiness, but same time you also recognize empty also not exist there too, because first these things not exist, then after this exists things also go away, means like there no exist there too. So more explain, when it is said that nothing exists, this means that the things to be negated true existing, which is under examination, is not to be apprehended. At that time, since true existing, the basis in dependence upon which no true existing is posted, is removed. How can no true existing remain before the mind as truly existing? Just as the son of a barren woman does not exist, neither does his dying. So that's all. Is see yesterday the questions, you know, ADG has like actually this all answer is that this verses. If you really know in this verses, you know, 32, 33, 34, these three verses, then you're really understanding the true nature, emptiness. These three verses very important in this the chapter 9. So see first like is followed by the answer is like 31 verses. If you know the emptiness, actually nothing benefit for you because still you have attached to object. So then this following answer is, you know, give all the information. Usually we always have this dropped and the thoughts. So these verses actually purify our dropped and the thoughts and really talk about the reality, truth. So then this verses is like highest level Mayaminka. And talk about the Dzogchen meditation, Mahamudra meditation, also based on this verses. You know, there talk about the emptiness part, this teaching, the Mayaminka, Dzogchen also didn't have any other than this, anything special something. Because this is the true nature. The actually result of Mayaminka's teaching. So Mayaminka investigating all different kind of ways and debating, but main point is up to here is like verses 32, and you recognize, you meditate, like become your emotion, desires become less and less, your emptiness realizations become strong and strong, so you can free from emotion and desire, so you don't have to go back to again. And then you no fixation to the object, and you are no fixation or this object phenomena, but then you're not stuck with also nothing, emptiness too, because you free from these two extremes. You are free from these two extremes. So now we're going to talk about a little bit again this 32, 33. When it is said that nothing exists, see, things don't exist, this means that things to be negated true existence, which is under examination, is not to be apprehended. At that time, so see, all things no exist, you recognize that at that time, since true existence, the basis in depending upon which no true existence, we don't stuck with no true existence, it's possible. It's removed, see, no existing also removed. Existing, we are free from that, but no, also we are free from non-existing too. Non-existing also cannot be truth, because exist is not there, then non-exist also cannot be. We already talked example up there. So, you know, it's example is, I see example is coming. So That's why at that time saying it's true existing, the basis is depending, something the which no true existing also posted is removed. How can no true existing remain before the mind as true existing? No existing also cannot remained, I think, remain, cannot remain. So just as the son of a bearing woman, so this example is like give you clear understand. Does not exist. See, the first or this phenomena does exist. Same is this bearing woman does not does not exist. Then neither does his dying, no dying there too. So first these things no exist, then also no exist too. So we are free from exist and no exist, both. So that is Mayaminka. All other religions, even this Buddhist, Satantrika, Vibhashika, Chitamant, they didn't have this view. They didn't have this view. And this is free from all the conceptual thoughts. So yeah, they also have, we can talk lots about here, but it's hard to, like I told you, it's without commentary, it's hard, one thing. And secondly, like it's my English is not never ever like close to this explain, to go up there. It's like very hard to explain. My English maybe can be explained only 10% about this part, but not can explain really all the like details. Very hard to explain. So also if you didn't study before this emptiness, then also you have like limited to understand too, because your understand also like goes 10% too. So you read commentary more, and you read, if you learn more different Mayaminka teachings and study more, then you go back to read these verses is really performed. And how like perform, and like short verses has the perform everything meaning in there, bring all the Mayaminka, the main point. So then this one is Mayaminka has, I told you, the two different levels, Woma Ranjupa, Woma Tanjurpa. So when I read these verses, then see this Shantideva is Woma Tanjurpa, Pasanjeka is like highest level Mayaminka, because he saying is like all these things beginningless time no exist. That means actually his own perception, no accepting relative truth. His own perception, no accepting relative truth exist. These things no exist are beginningless time. When you realize no exist means then your realization destroy all this relative truth. Your realization is the same is at a bomb, destroy all the object. If the something exists in relative truth, when you become realized no exist, right? So then you also have no existing too. So if you really understand Mayaminka teaching means like beginningless time is no exist. Not exist in relative truth only. Beginningless time no exist, no exist. No exist, no exist. So now the next verses, like verses 34 is most important. These verses when Shantideva read, and teaching, and we talk about his biography. He is disappeared from the throne. So when he chants these verses, then he is dissolved, disappeared from the throne. So these verses is talk about absolute truth. Once neither a thing nor a nothing, it is emptiness, remains before the mind, then as there is no other alternative, such as something being both the thing and the nothing, or being neither or thing nor a known thing, finally the mind that apprehend truly existing objects will cease and be totally pacified. So then he pacified, he gone. So this all the way, like chapter 1 to enter these verses, beginning to enter these verses, he shared this teaching in that time in the Nalanda University. The who was there, he shared this teaching for them, and here he despaired. So this is like talking about absolute truth, and we can see all these phenomena and non-phenomena, or exist and non-exist, it's all is become non-exist in our mind. So it's talk about four extremes. Mayamika means four extremes. Mayamika means no anything accepting. They don't accept non-exist. They don't accept exist. They don't accept either. They don't accept neither. So that's why they are free from all this conceptual thought. If you accept something, then same is like see Chitta Matter get problem. Same is the Vibhashika Satantrika. Then of course you can see next or is debating with more is like again with all these philosophicals, Buddhists and non-Buddhists both. It's coming debating more. So they are stuck something, they accept exist something. So the Mayaminka means free from all these conceptual thoughts. They don't accept anything. Once neither a thing nor thing, its emptiness remains before the mind, then as there is no other alternative, such as something being both a thing and a nothing, or being neither or thing or no thing, finally the mind that appears truly existing object will cease and be totally pacified. Okay, so we read it twice again, and that is the Shantideva despair and the absolute truth teaching. So that means like beyond everything for us. So now we go to the next question. The rest is, and the Shantideva, he wrote, leave his cabin in the monastery. So yeah, 12 in the ceiling, he put there. After they found, he left, so Shantideva, the story, he is in Nalanda, is no follow the rules, and they wanted to fire him. He does only just three things, like eating and go to restaurant and sleeping. He don't do any other than that. So the monastery, the board member or the just organizer, everyone upset with him. So they want to fire him. The reason is he not doing correct job, and also he is the prince, I think prince like king's son. So they're scared to fire him. If they fire him, because maybe king also going to destroy the monastery. Maybe he upset, angry, something, they're fear about that. That's the reason. The idea is they wanted to fire him is talk to teaching. They invited us. They actually, the one by one have to teach. They make the role. And when Shantideva's time comes, and then they make big gathering, and they prepare really big, and they make big throne. So he have to teach. Those like, that their 100% thing, Shantideva is going to run away. Then if he run away, so someone have to teach. The about Nalanda University, he have to teach. So actually the plan is for that. That's why they make big throne and gathering, all big. And I think they also local people also asked to come, stay everyone to gathering. So then anyway, so Shantideva said he didn't run away. He get in the throne, he taught all this teaching until up to here. And he didn't despair, use this word emptiness, dissolved. So now we go to the next one. It's next all rest is he just wrote down and he left his, I just told you, cabin and put in the silent, the room. So next is a debating again question. If this were the cease, then because he would not reflect, I should do this, how could the Buddha act for the benefit of others? So then, true, absolutely, everything's like that, ceases and be totally pacified. How can Buddha benefit us? That is, see, our perception again. We have this doubt all the time. So we always think we exist. Buddha has wisdom. Buddha knows my problem. He helped me to remove problem. I asked him to request him. He helped me remove my problem. So that kind we have dropped all the time. So this is the question, and the answer is wish fulfilling trees and wish granting gems, although they have no conceptual motivations, completely fail for hopes because of their own power and the merits accumulated by people. So we have wish fulfilling giver, we have wish fulfilling trees, and wish granting gems. This object didn't have conceptual motivations, wanted to benefit. Example, stupa, tanka, statue, or this special object didn't have a motivation to benefit others. Then see wish fulfilling tree didn't have a motivation. Wish fulfilling vase didn't have a motivation. So how can they benefit others? They can benefit others. The power of the own power and the merit accumulated by people means like the created by who has completion, aspirations, who has completion aspirations, means like Buddha and Bodhisattvas. They create this aspiration object. This object benefit for us, benefit for others, but actually they don't have motivation to benefit anything. Mind they don't have thoughts, perceptions. So anyway, they benefit. Same like that, Buddha's benefit for all other beings. So we also like other examples, the same is the sun. Sun didn't have actually the if the motivation, the sun didn't have conceptual motivation to want to benefit other beings, but sun benefit all the beings. And then Rain didn't have this motivation, wanted to benefit others, but Rain benefit all other beings for everyone. So like that, Buddha's aspiration is already accomplished, and no any motivations when they realize absolute truth is there no any motivations wanted to benefit, but the still condition rise benefit for other beings. When condition arise, benefit for other beings. So likewise, through the force of both the purity of the disciples, mind and the prayer as a Buddha make to work for the welfare while he is a Bodhisattva, the physical body of a conqueror appear and the benefit is forthcoming. So still Buddha benefit all these other beings continually, uninterruptedly benefit others. The benefit other means have to come the conditions. No conditions then cannot benefit. Must have to have a condition arise. So condition, we have to create our condiction. If we create our own conditions, then Buddha, even he didn't have a motivation to want to specifically benefit you, but anyway, naturally benefit for you. So that is the actually power of the Buddha's blessing, called power of a Buddha's blessing. See, Buddha, he passed away 2,500 years ago. Actually, we talk about relatively physical form is passed away, but his power aspirations is never passed away. His power aspiration, the Dharmakaya is always ceaselessly there. So long as you see, open your heart and mind, you create your own condition, Buddha is always there. So you receive and you can get benefit. If actually our thinking way, then Buddha really cannot benefit all sentient beings. It's limited. So we think Buddha is a physical form, and then he must have the intention, wanted to benefit you specifically, like that kind of way. Then Buddha doesn't have ability to benefit all other beings. It's limited. So our perception is incorrect, it's wrong. We put Buddha's immeasurable qualities put in the cage, create very small things, to say, oh, benefit me, and he has thoughts, I have thoughts. I like you have given me something, like, we put Buddha's immeasurable power is put into your dualistic cage. So think about it. Without this, how can Buddha benefit all sentient beings? And up there also think about it, verses like 32, 33, 34. That's the reason we can realize emptiness. That's the reason all this phenomena works very well. Otherwise, everything is not possible. Nothing is possible. Why is everything possible? Because everything is emptiness. That's why everything is possible. If something is permanent existed, then nothing is possible. So everything is become post, cannot forward, cannot move. Then caution, since the prayer of Bodhisattva ceased, when he attained Buddhahood, wouldn't it be impossible for them to have any effort at that time? Answer. For example, although the Burman Sanku passed away a long time ago, the Garuda reliquary, which he consecrated with the force of his mantra, is still able to neutralize poisons, I think, or poisons. So this is an example. So answer is a given example too. This although the Brahmin Sanku, the person who passed away a long time ago, so they create, something object, powerful object. The person who created something power of object. The Garuda Reliquary. So that is the object name, which he consecrated. See, he consecrated that object with the force of his mantra. So the person is gone, but this power of mantra object is benefit. Still, the object, is still able to neutralize poisons. So they remove the poisons too. Still, the object has power. The person is gone. Same like that. The Buddha is already, we say, past nirvana, but this his aspiration, benefit still remain. So this is the next is the again another example. This is more easy. Similarly, the reliquary of a conqueror's body is formed in accordance with his actions and prayers when he was a Bodhisattva. Although the Bodhisattva has no path beyond sorrow into the non-abiding nirvana, and his conceptual desire to accomplish the welfare of others has ceased, he still accomplishes all that is of benefit for them. So the similar, same thing, the reliquary of a conqueror's body is formed in accordance with his actions. So in the prayer, when he was Bodhisattva, the Bodhisattvas, when they are on the way of the practicing Bodhisattva, where during that time, so he aspiration create all this aspiration object. Although the Bodhisattva has no path beyond sorrow and free from samsara into the no abiding nirvana, so he is become realized absolute enlightenment, and his conceptual desire to accomplish the welfare of others has ceased. Is still the benefiting. So he still accomplishes all that is of benefit for them. So same is like Buddha's relax, and then the Buddha's aspiration, his all the enlightening activity. We go to different like places, pilgrimage, and that's also still benefit for beings. Even Buddha is not in there where he being the places, but people go and it still get blessings and can purify obscuration too. That's also still benefit, blessings. And then create a stupa. Stupa is also same as Buddha. So when Buddha is passed away, all the Buddha's special object relax in the stupa. So that's also benefit other beings. And so then same is like statues has consecrated inside all the special things, object, that's also benefit. So that is all is like relatively still benefit for us, non-conceptually benefit, no motivationally benefit for us. Even no motivation still have a power to benefit. Okay, so now today I think we leave it there. That's enough. Lots teachings to go. So then next is like step by step again debating. So debating this helps your thoughts purifying. This who debating Mayamika, Shantideva, so that people is actually our representative. our behalf, they're debating with Shantideva. So they lost, we also lost our thoughts, our perception, what we have. Then we have to follow we know, Shantideva. We have to follow him. We have to accept that.
Khenpo, did you say that at verse 34 was when Shantideva disappeared?
Yes. Oh, he says verses 34, disappear Shantideva. Yeah, you saying the air bit, so your question cannot hear the others. Okay, so now we're going to do dedication, yeah? Everyone okay, ready?
Ready.
Emaho, in the center is marvelous Buddha, Amitabha, boundless light. On the right side is the Lord of great compassion, and on the left is Vajrapanda, the Lord of power for me. All are surrounded by limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Immeasurable peace and happiness is the blissful feeling of Devachi. When I and all beings pass from samsara, may we be bound without taking samsara rebirth. May I have the blessing of meeting Amitabha face to face. By the power of the blessing of the meeting Amitabha face to face, by the power of blessing of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. May we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Tiyata Benzandaya, our modern Aya Soha. Bodhicitta, the excellent precious mind. Where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but it will increase higher and higher. But this virtue may achieve omniscience by defeating all enemies' confusion. May all who travels on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. As Manjushri Vero realized the atomic state, and as did Samantha Bada, were following the path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. May the teaching of Guru Gompa Ranashiri, whose omniscient Lord of Dharma, Master of Interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation, untrained of the samsara. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Khenpo.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Khenpo.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Khenpo.
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 Yes.
Hello, Khenpo. Do you have the other books of Shantideva?
Other book, which one?
All of them, the two books. Do you have the translation?
No, I didn't have a translation.
Oh.
No, I just have only this root text commentary. I mean the root text only.
Oh, okay.
Translation. Yeah.
Oh. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
Khenpo.
Thank you.
See you
Thank you,
later, everybody.
Bye.
Khenpo. See you tonight.